Welcome back. As if the Michael Flynn fiasco isn't bizarre enough, we're told that it's bringing new attention to a law that hasn't been used in the 200 years of its existence. It's the Logan Act. Matt Welch brought it up a little earlier in the show, and in a nutshell, it prohibits any correspondence with a foreign government in relation to disputes or controversies with the United States. Now, some legal experts say doesn't apply here, but could General Flynn be prosecuted under it or any other laws, obscure or otherwise? There's only one man to ask. That is Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Welcome back, Judge.
Oh, good to be with you, my dear friend.
You know, I ask you this on so many occasions, and you have the best way of describing these things, but how deep is this yogurt for Michael Flynn?
I don't know the answer to that, but I will tell you that no one has been prosecuted under this statute since it was enacted in 1799, including cases as egregious as the famous future director of the CIA, Bill Casey, who right after Ronald Reagan's election was, with Ronald Reagan's knowledge and consent, negotiating with the Iranians. This is the era where they were holding Americans as hostages and conducting a shadow negotiation intended to frustrate the negotiations of the State Department that were going on at the same time. Far more egregious than whatever General Flynn did. However, it is illegal, and the Justice Department could prosecute somebody. This is the Jeff Sessions Justice Department. I doubt that he would do this to Flynn, but it's there, for conducting a foreign policy as a private person or for purporting to speak in behalf of the government when you are not authorized to do so. More problematic, I think, is whether or not this conversation that General Flynn had with the Russians is the tip of other conversations that the Trump people had with the Russians. That's what both sides want to know about as well.
How do we go about finding that information without it turning into some sort of a divisive partisan?
That's a great question, because here's General Flynn's problem. He's not going to be prosecuted under the Logan Act. A jury would laugh at that. It would be a waste of prosecutorial resources. His real problem is, did he lie to the FBI? We learned just earlier today that he was interviewed for several hours by the FBI about this conversation. If they believe he lied to him, they will take that to a grand jury. They take that very, very, very seriously. Ask Martha Stewart. So the fact that he is exposed to that means when the Senate or the House calls him in to testify, he's going to invoke his Fifth Amendment rights. Not that he doesn't want the truth to come out, but he doesn't want to give the government grist for its mill in a potential prosecution.
Well, also, I mean, it seems as though he's created an even bigger headache for this administration.
Yes, he has.
And it seems as though the administration has been trying to distance themselves from this Russia connection, which keeps popping up.
Well, we also learned earlier today.
And in some ways that's manufactured. In other ways, I think there are valid questions.
I agree with you.
We're not going to get to the truth.
I agree with you. Some of it is manufactured, but some of it is legitimate questions that are being raised even by friends of yours and mine. But we learned earlier today that the president has known about this for 2 weeks, not the past 2 or 3 days that we had been led to believe, and Sean Spicer has given 3 different versions of this. So there's a lot more to come here. My advice to the general, whom I've met many times, is get counsel, get good counsel, get inside the Beltway counsel that knows how to deal with a problem like this. You have ethical issues, you have intelligence issues, and you have potentially criminal issues all coming together in the person of one human being, General Flynn.
And are you surprised that the General Flynn has raised the ire of the intelligence community, which has been so criticized in this climate?
You know, Kennedy, that is another issue, and this is a very, very troubling to me, I suspect to you and to a lot of people watching us. Is the deep state, is that portion of the intelligence community which never changes, trying to reach into the White House to teach their critic-in-chief, the President of the United States, a lesson, to show them what they can do to him? That is the tip of an even more dangerous iceberg, if that's true.
The government is spying on itself. I think you raised the most profound question, and I think the answer, unfortunately, is yes. And we are in the middle of a massive power struggle, and unfortunately, we are the ones who are going to feel the fallout from that, and we will be less safe because of it. And I'm so glad you bring that up, Judge.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Great to see you.